Hey guys, Chris Hill here. Today I want to talk for a few minutes about starting over. You know, all throughout life we're forced to start over in any number of ways. Most basically would be something like finishing high school and heading off to college, or maybe it's our first job and having to find new friends for the first time, or maybe it's having to adjust to having a boss with expectations for us for the first time. Maybe it's through relationships. Our spouse leaves us and we're forced to get a divorce, and then we have our kids. We have to split them up, or maybe it's something more heartbreakingly like losing a loved one through something like cancer or ALS, or maybe it's even just old age. They've gotten old, and it's their time's come, and they lived a great life, but it's time for them to kind of move on. All these ways of things happening to us in life. It's having one way of things being, and then having to adjust into life being something else. And I can tell you it's scary and it's hard because we don't know what that something else is going to be. And what I've learned though is that something else is up to us. What happens with our life is totally dependent on how we treat things and cope with them. So you have a loss, and it might be something like a business or something like finishing high school, going to college, something that's more manageable. But things are more important, like you lose a loved one, and I also take the time to grieve that. I'm not trying to downplay that 1 second. I can tell you when my mom passed away, it was hard. We we looked at our life and said, what's life gonna be like without a mom? What's our graduation or wedding day gonna be like? And fortunately for us, my dad's found love again, and he's found somebody that's really great for our whole family. So we're blessed in that sense. And kind of what I've learned through all of it is what you make of it. And there's two, I think, important kind of key lessons or key takeaways you can get from this. One being these times of hardship, of things happening to us that we're not quite sure what's going to happen on the other side, they help us to appreciate when things are good. They help us to appreciate our loved ones, the relationships we have. They help us to appreciate our jobs if we got laid off. All those things help us to appreciate the good things in life when we don't have them. And if life was just one kind of long line of good or decent things happening to us, we would never appreciate any of that stuff. So first of all, it helps us appreciate those things, and it's important to be grateful along the way and try and be grateful however we can. The second thing it does is it forces us to become the people that we're supposed to be. And I can tell you, I've learned and grown so much through having to deal with my mom passing away, through businesses failing, I'm actually currently starting back over myself. I'm moving back home to Atlanta and starting a new restaurant. And while yes, it's an exciting change, and that's something that I'm so stoked for, at the same time, I don't know what's happening on the other side, but I can use that as a way to grow. And the more we realize that these things happen to us, they're always going to happen to us, and that we can benefit from them in ways like growing and getting stronger and becoming the people that we're supposed to be. If we look at it in that regards, that makes it a lot more palatable. It makes it realize that, well, okay, this sucks, but all right, there is a silver lining there somewhere, and it's blank. So I encourage you, when you're going through the tough times in your life, figure out what that blank is for you. And I promise you, it'll help you to really appreciate your life on a different level and become the person that you're supposed to be. I think that's what our whole goal is for all of us.